Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So today we will be discussing about how data science can be a good career option for you and why. So we will be starting this session with few questions which arise in everyone's mind while they are thinking of transitioning themselves into data science domain or they are at the beginning of their journey. So let's start with the question. So the first question is whether it is worth doing or not. So to answer this question, I will first discuss three important things. The first one is job market. The second one is demand. And the third one is percentage of skilled people in the market right now. Okay, so if I talk about percentage of skilled people in the market, it is very less right now in data science domain, and that is why the demand is not getting fulfilled and the demand is increasing day by day. So as the demand is increasing day by day, the job market is also improving a lot. So there is a lot of job opportunity into data science domain, and that is why if you are someone who is thinking of career transition into a new technology or into a new domain, I would definitely suggest to consider data science, because at the end of the day we all want to land up with a good job, and if the job market is good, then that can happen. So that is why data science is worth doing course. And now if I talk about the ROI, then I would say the ROI in data science is very good, because the hike in data science domain is almost 70 to 120% on your current compensation, and that much hike you can get easily. Sometimes you can get hike of almost 150% as well. So according to the current analytics, it was stated that people with experience of 3 to 10 years are getting salaries of 20 to 50 lakhs, okay, easily into data science domain. Again, this is very easy to get in data science domain, and that is why the ROI is really good. And again, if I talk about ROI, I should mention about your investment. And data science is booming everywhere, so there are lots of free courses available, so your investment for free courses is zero. Again, if you are going to enroll yourself in some institute, then you can choose institute which is charging moderate, so your investment is not very high. So that is why your ROI is very good in this particular sector. Now let's move on to the next question, that is, what is the overall path for data science journey? So now if you are someone who is starting your journey, this should be very clear in your mind what and all you should learn if you are planning to make a transition. Okay, so the first thing that you should know is any one of the coding language, that can be either Python or R. Okay, then the second thing is SQL. The third and very important thing is statistics. Why it is very important? Because this is the foundation of machine learning, and that is why this is very important, and this particular concept will help you to solve tricky analytical business problem in the interviews. That is why do not skip this particular step. And the fourth one is machine learning algorithm. Okay, so this is again the foundation block of deep learning, so that is why this is very important. And the fifth one is visualization. Okay, so for visualization you can learn either Power BI or you can learn Tableau. Okay, or you can also go for advanced Excel. That is also okay. So these are the five important topic that you should be knowing if you are making a transition into data science. Now if I talk about Python, how much Python you should know? This is like basic Python, basic the fundamentals of Python, and basic part of Python or R, whatever you are learning, I would suggest go for Python, because that 90% of the industries are using Python. And then you should know all the libraries of data science, like NumPy, okay, Pandas, Matplotlib. These are the libraries that you should know very well. You don't need to be a Python developer or an developer. Okay, you just need to have basic fundamentals clear, like list, tuple. This thing should be clear, and then you should move on to the libraries, data science libraries, and that should be very very clear. Okay, now in SQL, what and all you should know? You should know joins very well. You should know joins. You should know the window functions. Okay, you should know the aggregated functions. You should know the sequence of each and every query, which one runs first and then what. So that is what in SQL you should cover. This is the least expected from you. Okay, and now statistics do not skip. Few of the institute or few people thinks that statistics is not required, but that is wrong. If you want to understand the mathematical intuition of each and every machine learning algorithm, statistic is a must. That is why do not skip this. Learn machine learning algorithms very well, especially with the math intuition behind it, because it is okay to learn less machine learning algorithm, but it is not okay to learn all the machine learning algorithm without any math intuition behind it. That is why whatever you learn, you make your concept very clear and very crisp. So that should be the overall path of data science journey. Now the next question is, where should you study from? And that is a very confusing question, I would say, because there are lots and lots of resources available. So I would be dividing the resources into two parts here. The first one is free resources. Okay, free resources, and the second one is the institute guide. So I'll be discussing both the positive and negative side of free resources as well as institute guide. So the first thing is, free resources are really good if you have enough time. Enough time, go for it. But if you have time constraints, okay, then don't go for free resources, because these are not well structured. Not structured. What do I mean by not structured? Like, you cannot get everything under same umbrella. Like for Python, you'll have to go somewhere. Okay, for ML algo, you'll have to go some for other resources. For statistics, you'll have to again go for other resources. That is why it is really difficult if you're going for free resources and you have time constraints. So that is why time, if you're going for free resources and if you have time constraint, I would suggest you should not go for it. And why it is the another thing, why it is not good, because you are not improving your network if you are going for free resources. Once it is time, if you have time constraint, it's not good. And the second is, your network is not improving. Okay, network is not improving. What do I mean by network is not improving? Like, if you go to some institute, you will get to know lots of people, you'll get to know lots of teachers, lots of domain experts, and they can refer you in some industries where they are working. So your network is improving. But here, when you are doing free resources course, then that thing is not happening. That is why this is not advisable to everybody. Okay, and the third important thing why it is not good, because you are not getting a competitive mindset. You are reading on your own, you are studying on your own at your own pace, and that is why it is time consuming. That is why I will never suggest free resources to those who wants to make a transition within 6 to 7 months, because that is not doable under free resources. Now if you get institute guides, what and all you are getting. If you are getting institute guides, first check whether the whole course is being done properly or not, like all the topics. Okay, all the topics are being covered or not. Then second important thing is, your networking is getting improved. Okay, and the third thing is, it is well structured. And the fourth thing is you are getting the help of domain expert. And this is very, very important to get interview cleared. This is very, very important for your projects as well. So that is why these are all the positive side of getting yourself enrolled into any institute. Okay, now your institute you should choose very wisely. So in the next videos I'll be discussing what and all are the factors that you should keep in your mind while choosing any institute. Now let's move on to another question, that is what you should prioritize. That is your skill or your certification. So I have been taking data science interviews from past 2 years, and from my own experience and from as have seen other interviewers are looking into the candidates, that is their skills, their projects that have been mentioned in the resume. That is the thing that is going to get you more interview calls, and that is the thing from where they are going to ask questions. So if you are skilled, if you have knowledge, then you will be able to answer their tricky business problem. Okay, tricky business problems, otherwise you won't be able to answer. So they are not at all bothered whether you have certification or not. They will ask you a question, you will have to answer them. If you have certification, then it is an add-on to your resume. It is a shiny armor, it is playing a shiny armor role, but it's your knowledge, it's the projects that you have mentioned in your resume that is going to get you most of the interview calls, and that is going to help you crack interviews. Okay, so that is why always prioritize your skills and then your certification, because nobody is bothered about your certification. Certification is the last thing that the interviewers are going to check or see with what kind of certifications you have. It's your way of answering the questions, it's your depth of knowledge, that is what they are looking, that is what they are looking for in a candidate. Now let's move on to the another question, and that is how much money you should invest. And this is a very, very important question, because this question's answer is directly related to your ROI. Okay, now if you are someone who is investing a lot means I would say 1 lakh to suppose 15 lakhs you are investing just to get a data science course done, then I will say I will not recommend it, and this is a very bad decision, because then the ROI will not be good, because ROI will only be good if you have invested less but you are earning more. Then only your ROI will be good. So when your ROI will be good, when you are investing less money. So how much less money? So I would say 45 to 50, 55,000 rupees. Okay, you can easily invest for the whole data science, for the whole data science course. You can easily invest 45 to 50, 55,000 rupees. Now while investing this much money, you should keep few things in your mind. So the first one is the course structure. Okay, so the first one is course structure. So whether it is covering all the topics or not. All the topics means R or Python, okay, SQL, ML, stats, these things, projects, real time projects. Okay, these are the topics they are covering or not. Second one is batch size. Why batch size is very, very important? It should be small to medium. Why not big? Because if it is big, your personal doubts won't be cleared. Okay, your doubt clearing session will be in vain. So if your batch size is too long, too high, so how much should be moderate or small batch size? It should be 30 to 45, around that, or till 50 also it can go. Then it can be considered as small batch size. If it is more than that, more number of students are enrolling into a same batch, then the batch size is very huge, and then you will face problem while solving your personal doubts. So I would highly recommend that choose an institute where they give immense importance on batch size as well. Then the third important thing is whether you are getting domain expert help or not. Domain expert help or not. Why it is important? Because suppose you are coming from mechanical background, okay, mechanical background, or you're coming from civil background or some chemical engineering background, and you want to make a transition into data science domain. Okay, so in that case, your domain expert guide, they will tell you what kind of projects they have been working under this domain. They will share their they will share their work experience. They will be sharing the projects they are working on, and from those projects we will get the real time experience, and that will eventually help in cracking interviews. Okay, and that is why this particular thing is very very important. Whatever institute you are enrolling, focus on whether you are getting domain expertise help or not, because this particular thing will eventually help you in creating your resume as well. Because if different people are coming from different background, one generalized resume is not going to work for everyone, and that is why domain experts guide can be very helpful while creating your resume. And you should focus on your resume, because at the you should focus on your resume because at the end of the day your resume is going to get interview calls. Okay, interview calls are coming because of resume, and that is why domain expert help is very very important, and that is how you should invest. It's not only your money, it's also your effort. You should consider all these points and then only invest your money in some organization or some institute. Now let's move on to the next question, that is, when should you start interviewing? So I would say once you are done with your Python or R, you're done with SQL, you're done with stats and ML, you should start interviewing, because 90% of the questions are coming from these four topics. Okay, now if I deep dive into each topic, I would say 15 to 20% of the questions are coming from this particular topic, and then also mostly in this particular topic majority of the questions are from data science libraries. Okay, then comes SQL. There are going to be 20 to 30% questions. Okay, that is from this particular domain. Rest rest almost 50% of the question, 40 to 50% of the questions are going to be asked from stats and machine learning. Give immense importance on these two topics. Know all the mathematical intuition, all the mathematical working principle of all the algorithms that you have mentioned in your resume. That should be very very clear in your mind in order to crack any interview. So if you are done with these four topics, I think you are good to go for interviews. And I think you can easily solve interview questions if you are done with these four topics. Okay, now let's move on to the last important question, that is whether domain expert advice is beneficial for you or not for cracking the interviews. So as I already discussed earlier, domain expert help is very very important, and I will, in the importance list, if I create an importance list for you all, then I will first keep knowledge, then I will keep domain expert guide. Your projects that you are mentioning in the resume, or you're doing that hands on. Okay, and the fourth is certification. It's optional. Optional. So your domain expert guides comes at the second most important category under the importance list. And why it is very important? Because if you are coming from other background like mechanical or electrical or civil, okay, then in that case you are not aware how data science algorithms work, or what kind of real time projects are there in these particular, under these particular domains. And this is where the domain experts guides are coming into pictures. They will be sharing their experience, their projects, the type of work they are working on right now, the challenges they are facing. And that experience, their knowledge is going to be an added advantage for you, because that will give you the feel of real time work. And this is very very important for cracking interviews, because the interviewers are really looking forward whether you have real time work experience or not. Even if you don't have, but you are getting the guidance of domain experts, then you can easily solve those interview questions that are being asked during your interview session. Also, this domain expert guide can be very very helpful to the IT and the software guys as well, because they will share their real time projects. They will be sharing their real time projects. So real time projects means the projects that that are going on in some industries. Okay, suppose they are working in Walmart or they are working in Amazon, then they are sharing their work experience, what type of data they are handling, what kind of data cleaning they are doing, what kind of tools they are using. And that particular knowledge is going to be very crucial in order to crack any interviews. That is why domain expert guidance is very 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 important. And if you are enrolling yourself into some institute, always focus on that. So I hope I have made it very clear the overall journey towards data science, what and all you should keep in mind, how to proceed. And I hope you have got a clearer picture at the end of this session. We will meet soon. Stay tuned for further videos. Bye bye.